Hi guys, this is my English version on freelancing for beginners. I also made a Tamil version whose link is in the description box. My session was with Janani who wanted me to explain what is data entry and then move on. Data entry is just entering data as instructed by your client. It is useful in many scenarios which I will explain further in this video. Another type of job ideal for beginner freelancers is virtual assistant. As per the name, you are going to be your client's assistant. The kind of job can be anything. It can be checking your client's emails or posting a job on a job site, just anything that your client would need you to do. Let us see an example for data entry job. A seller might have his product details and wants to put them up for sale on a platform like Amazon. Since product addition is just a one-time work, freelancers may be preferred to create the products. Not only individual freelancers, but companies can also apply to freelance. I may be running a company with 10 people at a fixed cost and apply for data entry projects like adding products for sellers on Amazon. My quote would be much lesser than what you are going to quote as an individual. Also, as a company, I might be able to do the work faster as I have more people handy. I feel that this competition is applicable for data entry jobs. For virtual assistant jobs, in my opinion, more employers prefer individuals rather than a company. This is because they might be handling some kind of an ongoing job like deal with a specific client. When an individual does it, he will be aware of previous discussions with the client and react accordingly. This expectation from employers kind of decreases the competition from companies when it comes to virtual assistant. Although the name might sound fancy, I would suggest budding freelancers to apply for these kind of jobs for more favorable results. For doing so, you can sign up to freelancing sites like freelancer.com, Fiverr, Upwork, Guru, and so on. I am adding the sites in the description box for you guys to check. Since I am familiar with freelancer.com, let me show you that. The concept is the same for all freelancing sites with minor operational changes. First, let us sign up using a preferred method. Since you are here to work, click on I want to work. If you are an employer, you would go to I want to hire and post your jobs with whatever expectation of tasks and pay that you have. Next screen would be to choose the jobs you are capable of. Only based on the skills you choose, the jobs will be populated to you. So make sure you're choosing the appropriate skills. You will be able to choose up to 20 skills in the portal using a free membership. This would suffice in terms of skills. When I was a beginner, I used to go for jobs related to data entry, virtual assistant, customer support, and customer email handling. I have explained data entry and virtual assistant, so let me move on to customer support. I'm going to state examples. In websites, you might have seen icons in the bottom saying chat for help. You would be the person handling those customers if you are chosen for the customer support job. Customer email handling is the same job, but you will be replying for queries in email instead of a chat. Or you could just be handling the customer's emails in general. Personally, I would not recommend you to choose data scraping. The reason for this is scraping, which means taking data from a website and entering it into an Excel, is a job that can be automated. A developer can just write a code to do it. The code can scrap the data for a developer without any manual effort. So he might be able to price very low, but when your manual effort is needed, it wouldn't be reasonable. As a beginner, I think the most favorable job is virtual assistant. So let me proceed by choosing virtual assistant jobs to show you further. In languages, you can choose the languages you are familiar with, but I would suggest you go for English. English is used by many international countries which pay well. As compared to India, some international countries offer more on the pay side. I have freelanced for companies based out of UK, New Zealand and Singapore, so I know it for a fact. Once you have chosen the language, also choose your experience level appropriately. Next, the site would ask you for a payment method. Payment method is for getting paid membership on the site and not for receiving your payments. Unless you want a membership, you don't have to enter it, you can skip it. However, if you want to avail the free trial, you need to enter your payment method. You can apply for 100 jobs when you go with the free trial. When you apply for 100 jobs, you are increasing your probability of getting a job instead of applying for only 10 jobs in the free membership. Your card wouldn't be charged unless you don't cancel the membership before the trial period ends. Be very careful about it, but this really helps to get a freelancing job. Let us skip for now and see how to apply for jobs. I had chosen virtual assistant in my skills. You can see that I am being populated with jobs related to virtual assistant. I am choosing this project. In this project, you can see that their budget is from 8 to 15 USD. You can see that the country is United States and therefore the hourly rate is more. This is based on the rates in the specific country. In India, the hourly rate ranges from 50 rupees per hour to more based on the skill required on the job, your experience, and the employer. When you are a beginner, or rather, when I was a beginner, I used to charge less so that the expectation on me was lesser and I can learn. Also, because if I made mistakes, it won't be seen worse. As I got confident by working on more projects, I started charging correctly. Back to this project, first I would check the project details. Here I see that a site called meetup.com is mentioned. I would first go into meetup.com and see how I can create an event as this employer mentioned. Let us assume I went into meetup.com but I couldn't find out how to post an event. I would reply to the employer saying I will be able to add event details if I was assisted one time with the procedure. You can be genuine with what you know and what you don't. Next, I see editing transcribe being mentioned. If you are not sure, you can reply saying I am not aware of what this is. I'm going to show you how I would reply to an employer. First, I copy the employer's message into the description box so that I don't miss to reply to any of the points. Please note, when employers say computer savvy, it means knowing to use a computer and basics like checking emails, Excel and Word proficiency. Nothing more is expected as far as I have seen. Even if you don't know the intricate details of a specific software, many employers will be willing to teach you as each business requires a specific method of operation. So be honest with what you know and what you don't. The proposal is a good way, in fact, the only way to explain yourself to the employer. While the amount you propose matters, even if you have asked for a little more, the employer can choose you based on how satisfyingly you have explained in your proposal. I will show you one of my winning proposals further in this video. Once you have completed the details, save. Freelancer takes a commission of 10% of the wages. So make sure you keep that in mind and apply. These are some optional upgrades to highlight your application. You have to pay for it, but the employer's decision is always final. Personally, I do not recommend these upgrades, so let us place the bid. Once we have submitted, we are able to see others' job descriptions along with the amounts that they have quoted. You might have put up a wonderful proposal and also a low bid, but the employer might have rejected you and chosen someone else. This is very normal because you never know. There are so many people applying to the job that the employer might not have even read your proposal. Never lose hope. It took me quite some time to land in a freelance project. Employers reply using freelancer.com chat option if they need more details or want to have a word with you. Some fake projects can be the first ones to get to your chat box. For example, CAPTCHA work. It is illegal. You can Google to know why it is fake. So, if you are getting a job to do CAPTCHA work, you can reject it. Sometimes employers can also ping in your chat and ask you to email to their email ID. When they share email ID, freelancer.com won't take responsibility anymore if you are not paid. The logic behind this is the terms and conditions of freelancer.com. When one of the parties have shared contact details, freelancer.com will not know if you and the other party have discussed outside of the website. Before you apply for jobs in any portal, I would suggest that you read their terms and conditions to decide accordingly and not lose any money. Before I tell you how to deal with this scenario, let me show you my winning bid in the past. This is my winning project. My employer's expectation was between 3 and 10 New Zealand dollars per hour. I assumed that 4 New Zealand dollars will be apt. I replied to all the questions and details in his project description. I was honest about my skills and he expected communication to choose me. A bid need not be too low to be selected, but it needs to be reasonable. Though my bid was not the lowest, my employer chose me. To sum it up, a reasonable bid, a proper proposal, and a little bit of luck once you have done your part is needed to get a freelancing project. Now, let us move to freelancer payments. I hope you can see the top right corner with a freelancer balance. There is a limitation here. Only when you have reached a balance of 10,000, I think, can you get the money to your bank account. I am not sure of the exact amount that is being used now. You can check that. This is another reason why you have to read through the terms and conditions. I see this as a drawback to continue freelancing in the freelancer.com portal. I'm not sure if other freelance portals have this limitation or if freelancer.com still does it. Currently, I don't freelance using portals anymore. While freelancer.com is a good portal to start off with, make sure you don't depend on it always. Find more ways to get projects. Until the time I was going through freelancer.com, paid memberships have been useful for getting more projects. I did earn well in the portal, even though I did lose a bit of money here and there. Back to what you can do when an email is shared in your chat by an employer and you are out of the freelancer.com protection. To be on the safer side, while you are connecting with the employer without freelancer.com, ask your employer to pay you weekly, even if it is a small amount. From this, you would know if the employer is fake or not. Even if you lose money, it would be only a week's worth instead of more. Not at all times are people who share these details fake. Just like you are charged with a 10% commission, your employer is also charged with the same. In order to save on commissions, the employer might ask you to contact via email. My current employer, who I am with for 5 years now, found me and asked me to contact in email. I did. We worked on a weekly payout for nearly 2 years, after which we are in monthly payout now. I hope I have summarized pretty much all the important points. I have also a blog content explaining the same with screenshots. I am sharing those links in the description box for you guys to check. If you want more clarity on anything specific, please let me know in the comment section and I will look into it. I hope this has been useful. If you have liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching and happy freelancing.